we're going to share 3 communication tools with you that are going to make relationships a lot easier and transform your intimacy. So let me share.
For us.
For what?
They have for us.
They have for us, yes. So let me share a story with you very quickly. So my grandmother used to say, better out than in. And what she meant by that was that I should fart. And if I had a fart, I should fart and let it out because it's not healthy to keep it in. And so many years later...
I love the way you say fart with your Australian accent.
Fart. And many years later, I met this one and I said to Christine, many times...
Early in our relationship. Very early.
When I could see she was holding on to something. I could see she wanted to say something, but she wouldn't and couldn't say because I could see her flustered, moving around the house. Not this house, because we didn't have this house when we first met, but she was in tension. I would say, my nonna used to say, nonna is Italian for grandmother. My nonna used to say, better out than in. And so you've got something to say, you should probably say it. Now, she meant farts, but I think it's a really good metaphor for life, communication, and relationships.
And by the way, this applies to farts in our house, too. Steph takes way more advantage of it than I do.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're just a boy.
I don't know. I'm just a boy. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, but she's right. So we have a thing in our relationship, and we call them darts, barts, and jarts. There's 3, and there's 3 separate communication tools. Shall we start with barts?
Yes. Well, and don't forget the farts. So
So
you're
4.
really comfortable with each other if because you don't want to hold it in.
And you know what? If you're in a relationship, I'm curious. Share in the comments if you're in a relationship and you've never farted physically, flatulence,
especially the women,
in front of your partner, and tell us what you think about that. Tell us if you think that's a good thing, a bad thing. Like, are you embarrassed? Are you not? Is it a value set within your relationship? Have you even spoken about it? Do you just hold it in and let your guts churn and get cramps? And we want to know.
I do try to go to the bathroom. I do try to keep some mystery, feminine appeal alive.
You
but
definitely
sometimes
do.
I just can't. Sometimes
especially when you're pregnant.
Actually, I've been less gassy pregnant. Unless I have like Brussels sprouts, but really. Anyway, you guys don't want to know that.
Barts are first.
Barts are first. Yeah. So barts are like a brain fart. Barts are when you just got something on your mind. For me, a lot of times I'm worrying about something ridiculous because we had a pattern in our relationship where I'd bring up something I was worried about, a worst case scenario, and he would kind of just get irritated. He'd be like, oh my God, like, why are you worried? That's not going to happen. Like, the other night I was worried because he put gas in the car and I thought the car still smelled like gas and I thought the car was going to explode in the garage. He's like, you need a flame. I'm like, I don't know, I'm worried about it. So sometimes I have these crazy thoughts and he would just get, oh my God, and annoyed. So now I just say, I have a Bart. And this is just something on my mind or something that's bothering me.
It's complete mental mindset shift.
Yes, it really is. And when he knows, when he hears me say, okay, she has a Bart, he can change his whole energy. And he knows it's going to be some crazy thing I'm worried about or something that's on my mind or something I haven't quite processed through quite yet. You came to me with a Bart the other day about...
I did. And I won't label it. Yeah. So I won't label and judge her Bart, her brain fart. I won't label and judge her concern. Right, because I don't want to give it that energy. That's unfair. Yeah. That's mocking her concern. That's mocking maybe some of her wounding. That's mocking some of her conditioning. And that's not fair. If I don't apply compassion and loving presence to you in those moments like you do to me, then you're not moving away from that pattern. Not that I want you to, but you may want to move to, because it's not nice to have anxiousness. It's not pleasant and desirable to carry anxiousness and stress in the body, right?
No, it's terrible.
What was the Bart that I had the other day? I can't remember.
It was work stuff.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Remember?
Yeah, I do. Yep. I was worried about this path that I'm taking with my career and everything that's happening, and I'm excited about it, but I'm also concerned about it. So I just wanted to just talk it out.
Yeah.
So I said, I've got a Bart.
And the thing with Barts, our agreements around Barts is we don't provide coaching, or we really never coach each other unless he directly asks me to put my coach hat on or I directly ask him. We don't provide solutions. We really just listen. And then if I have a Bart and I need something, to make that request.
Yeah, and just as a side note, I'm secure enough in my own disposition that I welcome Christine's guidance and her insight and her intuition. That's one of her feminine superpowers, is her intuition.
Yeah.
And so I welcome that, unless I'm in a really unhealthy or triggered place where I don't want that, and she's more than wise enough to see that that's not what I want and she won't give me that.
No.
So what's next? Jarts. These are good.
Jarts, yeah. So jarts are judgments. When you're being judgy McJudgy, either against your partner or someone
yourself,
else or
else.
yourself, or you just want to get it out. You're like, I have a jart. I'm totally judging that person over there, or, you know, somebody, and you feel a little guilty and a little shame for judging them, judging yourself, judging your partner. You know, I had a jart about Steph the other day. He was doing something that I was like super judging, and I just told him later, I had a jart about you doing this, and I decided not to like go down that road because I knew I was just triggered. And it's a great way to communicate to your partner, hey, I'm judging you for something that you're doing, so get ready. And I'm aware, I'm totally taking responsibility that I'm judging you right now. And then your partner can go, okay, great, like have fun judging that other person, me, or yourself. So it's a great way to just, because we all are judging McJudgy in our head.
Yeah, you're
judgy.
You're kidding yourself if you think you're not. I'm going to be very direct with it. We are human beings, and we compartmentalize our experiences, our relationships, our environments. Our brain is hardwired to do that, and it has been for hundreds of thousands and millions of years. It's what keeps us safe. It's what moves us towards what is safe. It's what pulls us away from what isn't safe. So judgment, as we've advanced linguistically in our consciousness and so forth, judgment becomes this extension of this compartmentalization that we very naturally do. What happens is in our society, though, low self-worth, insecurity, etc., amplifies our judgments. And in amplifying our judgments, we actually push people away. And so if we don't take ownership and responsibility of them, we don't create the safe spaces and containers to actually share our judgments more openly without being shamed for them, we're never going to move past them. They don't go anywhere, they don't disappear, they stay within us, and we just silently judge people. And we silently build resentment and jealousy and anger and all those quote unquote ugly things that we don't want to experience.
And your partner can feel you judging them. I'd rather Steph say to me, hey, I have a jart about what you're doing right now and how you're being. I'm like, all right, like, let me hear it. That rather than just feeling him pull away or feeling him judge me. I'd rather just, let's just get it out.
Are there such things as positive judgments? I'm always commenting on how cute you are, or your mannerisms and little things that you do, how you drink, how you eat, how you walk, how you laugh, how you talk to yourself when you're doing something or when you're multitasking.
Now, it's so great being pregnant, because now I talk to myself all the time, but now that I'm pregnant, I'm like, I'm talking to her. Like, there's another person here.
How you dry yourself and you leave like these wet spots on your back because you don't know how to dry yourself, and you've been doing it for I don't even know how long. Anyway, let's move on to the third one, the last one, darts. And darts in a more American accent. I don't know if that's American, but darts are dreams.
Mm-hmm. This one was really good because we kind of developed darts more for me so I could get my like worrisome thoughts out. And this was developed a little more for Steph, because he's the dreamer in our relationship. He's the visionary. Okay, that's great, but what's step one? Like, how are we going to do that? I don't know if I'm the, I can dream and vision as well, but I'm also okay, but how are we going to do that?
I like to get in the how as well.
Yeah, you do, but you need the space to just dream and vision and have these grandiose ideas. And so darts are when you have a dream, when you have a vision, and you just want to be able to speak freely about it without your partner going, how's that going to happen? Or is that going to, or getting in there with you, like being able to dream and vision freely.
Yeah. You want to be seen in that dart, in that dream that you're expressing, that you're wanting so deeply to connect to. And I was just thinking as you were saying that, this isn't just reserved for couples in intimate romantic partnerships. These are agreements and communication tools you can establish with loved ones, friends, colleagues, family members, your children, giving your children permission. I mean, I'm so excited to give our little one permission, but just open up the door for her and say, what are you judging? What are you dreaming about? What are you, what's on your mind or on your heart that you really want to express with? And you're not going to be judged. You're going to be fully received. There's deep, deep healing in being fully received as you are for who you are.
Yeah. And it can also be freeing for you to be able to talk about things that maybe your partner would be resistant to. Like, for example, Steph has this dream to climb Mount Everest, which scares the bejesus out of me. I'm like, could there be another, does it have to be Mount Everest? Like, the Great Mountains in Colorado, all that kind of stuff. So whenever he would speak about it, I just constrict and go into, you have a wife, you have a child on the way, like this. But if he says, hey, I have a dart, and he just wants to talk about some of the things he wants to do, which he may do, he may never do, but giving him the space to just dream about it and talk about it without shutting him down is a loving act that I can hold that space for him. But when he can say it's a dart, it gets me in the mindset of, okay, I'm just going to listen and let him dream here.
Something to know that you just touched on, and we'll end here. There's a phenomenon in relationship, in intimate relating, romantic or other, where if you as an individual just have a capacity to express without feeling judged, sometimes it diffuses the thing that you really want to do. It's not to take away from the action you want to take. You still may want to do that thing, in this instance, climbing Mount Everest, but just to be received in that dream or that thought or that expression, it changes the relationship to that thing. Mm-hmm. And so that's a strong foundation to lay to get connected to your truth.
Yeah. So, fart, Bart, dart, dart.
Good.
And
great.
make up your own too.
Yeah, for sure. And if you want to deepen intimacy in relationship, you can download our free Sacred Union process, www. I know how you love me saying
I know.
that.
Who needs to say www?
People need to know. People World Wide Web.
It's been like 20 years. People get it now.
World Wide Web. ChristineHassler.com / that is Sacred Union.